Hey everyone, how's it going? Happy 8 p.m. It's Richard here, as always. So today's topic is how to earn more money doing what you're passionate about. Little parentheses, note that I'm not the expert here. Really, what this conversation is for anyone hopping on right now, this is just an open conversation. I like to share kind of my own personal experiences because I believe story is ways that we as human beings can connect with each other and learn. So again, how do we earn more money doing what we're passionate about is really just an open-ended conversation. And this is going to be me brainstorming out loud and sharing my thoughts. Again, my experiences, where I'm at currently in my life, with something related with finances and all of that stuff. So I would say that there are some revelations that I have uh, whatever in my past, this whole entire life, just in this moment. Start with what sparked this conversation. What sparked this conversation for me is I just came back from mentoring middle school boys near LAX, and that's like the Los Angeles International Airport. It's called Lennox Middle School, and I mentor these boys once a month. Myself, that one, that's a really cool opportunity that I get to do, and I'll say essentially it's volunteer work, and um, you know, there is to support and mentor these boys so they could become the future. And the journey has been awesome. It's been crazy. So really, what my point is here, or why mentoring boys today, team of 8 people today. Why this triggered this conversation is I realized the only reason why I'm able to have this flexibility in having the free time, or at least for these boys, is because I at least have some sort of freedom to some extent. Goodness, this is not a great example. I'm definitely not, financially secure place, but I am alive. Like I am alive. I am working towards that financial freedom, you could say. It's like, I don't know how to say this. It's on, saving up for whatever, future stuff like buying a house, all that kind of stuff. And I'm only in the beginning of this whole process. But really, I guess what this conversation is about to me is just recognizing, goodness, really, this whole conversation is valuing our time. How do I say this? This is such a fresh conversation for me. Again, like there's a reason why I'm claiming that I'm not the expert on this. This is just a free flow, like conversations of, a lot of people have don't you don't charge enough for your services. These are people who are into money. These are people who are not into money. The people who are very passionate about what they do, and they're still like, Richard, like you can charge more. That's like a consistent theme. So I guess one conversation around this is really it's self-worth. It's conversations that I've had about myself, how much my services are worth, how much value I'm providing to other people. And I don't know how to say this. This is like, uh, you can say it's raw, it's open. It's where do we go here? Oh, it's this is what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this opportunity. I am going to been like since I quit my job, decent money. It's I guess I'm happy to share. I was making I was making about 50K, at my old job. And this is like kind of out of college type of job. Like super, super high pay, but it wasn't super, super. I was in where I live in LA, Los Angeles / Orange County area. That's like a okay salary. Um, quit this job because I job, and I just knew that I didn't want to spend the rest of my life. that. I was saving up plenty of money every single year. I could have been financially okay. And I know that the more I work in this kind of job, that I'll eventually get promoted and make more money. Wasn't my life. I knew that I want to do something more. So, I ended up quitting this job and kind of pursuing my own passion. That's speaking, life coaching, all that stuff. And I'm currently focused on speaking. Marshall, good to see you, brother. How do I say this? I want to clarify. I just want to clarify for anyone who's hopping on. I'm sorry if the title's misleading. I'm not trying to clickbait anyone. I didn't to create a title because I like to improvise my speaking converse off what I feel like in this moment. Really, the essence. Really, the essence of this is to this point is I believe that we can all based off of what we're passionate about. Sure, we can argue that underwater basket weaving, maybe that's not a practical thing, make you money, but maybe it will be. Maybe people enjoy watching live streams of people underwater basket weaving. It's like I believe really it's how do we be creative about it? I do believe there are situations, sometimes our passions are a little bit more challenging to make money than others. I will say I'm very, very fortunate that speaking is a real thing in the United States, that people actually pay people to get to speak. I'm very creative about it. So here's my situation. Okay, so 4 years of my life. Marshall, I see your question. I'll look at it in just a second. The past 4 years since I quit the 9 to 5. There are three main focuses that I had. Number one is speaking. Number two is life coaching or career coaching, something like that. Number three is creating content, making YouTube videos, things like that. And these were the primary three sources of income, if anything, that I potentially had. Are the common ones that a lot of life coaches go towards, which is like creating online courses and book, getting sponsorship ads and stuff like that for their content that they produce. No, I see a lot of the speakers / life coaches / on right now. So that's really cool. And around with this, I was like, can I really make a profit doing YouTube the way I am right now? And honestly, based off ad revenue, no, like it was not sustainable. It was just for fun, just like I'm doing right now. Like this is just, it supports people. It supports kind of my mission, and it's helping other people find their own self-worth and who they are. I also have to say here. And, ad revenue was a thought there. It's a side thing. Like I'll turn on advertisements just in case, people are watching it. And I've made like $1,300 off of YouTube advertisements in the past 4 years, which is not expecting any money, but bad money if you're trying to make it a living. So there's that. I thought about strategic YouTube stuff, but I'm like, that's not my thing. I've always wanted to make my content pure. I didn't want to do like, here, let me create a video so I can sell you on something. Like that's just, it could be a conversation, but for me, it's like, if I create content, I want to create content for the sake of creating content, to just give. Like, I don't want to sell something. I guess I've always been hesitant on that side. And honestly, to this day, to sell something at the end like that, there's nothing wrong with it. I get people's perspective, and there's who sell from the stage. There's a lot of people who do webinars and things like that. Like, no hate on that. Like, that's just, they always, in the more base, it's like you're doing your customers a disservice by not selling something to them, which I definitely see the value of that, so perspectives of this. I'm just going to state my perspective, and whoever can argue with it can argue with it. That's YouTube. Goodness. Again, this whole conversation, what I'm sharing with you, could just be a money conversation that I got to deal with. As life coaching, how do I say this? Where I've charged my own rate, which is not that much, and I had a period where I'm like, hey, let's see if a coach, a sales and marketing / also a life coach, he was helping me like, hey, Richard, like you're charging way too little. You can 5-10 times your price, your rate and stuff like that. I'm like, what? That's crazy. So I tried it out, and eventually I was like, oh shoot, I'm actually booking clients and stuff like that. Like there actually is value. However, on an internal level with it, audience that I want are more on the side of struggling with self-esteem. Goodness, I feel like there's like a lot of which I'm very open to. Marshall or Stefano, people in the life coaching space have their opinions and thoughts on this, and I'm open to hearing about them. For me, I just in terms of charging high ticket prices and things like that, so then I kind of moved on to the third way, which is my own richer business model, which is no more rates for my speaking, and what's going to currently support me in terms of generating income. I feel comfortable with that because I know the value that I give on stage, and I'm very aligned with it. So that means that I get to help people for free. After my speeches are done, I got to make YouTube videos for free, and I don't have that having to, whatever it is, perform or whatever. Like it just, for me, money's always been like a weird conversation. It's I want to, but then do a bunch of things for free because that's my passion. So this, Marshall, I see your comments. I'll let's see. My whole point of this, it's like, until now, again, for better or worse, right or wrong, that I wanted certain things that I do to not prices, and there's other things that I will charge whatever the normal rates in alignment with who I am. That's what I have right there. All right, let's I want to dive into your questions and things like that. How are you leveraging your personal brand to achieve this? So how am I leveraging my personal brand to achieve this? Financial goals, and then let's see. I'm going to read your second comment. It's all about the for-purpose business road. Don't be scared to ask for it. Money is simply an equal exchange of energy. Don't be afraid to ask for it. Okay. So this one's interesting to me. Yeah, this is good. It's all about the for-purpose business, bro. Don't be scared to ask for it. Exchange of energy. Okay. Okay. So what I'm breaking down, I think this is what you're saying has, how I'm breaking this down right now, Marshall, is money is simply an equal exchange of energy. I agree with that. Individuals determine how much do we charge right now. How do I say this? We all kind of determine our own worth, how much we're willing to take for a job. So, a lot of Americans, people in general, they tend to take jobs because it gives them money so they can survive, right? There's a lot of people who work waiter jobs / whatever, just like retail jobs, things like that, just like very, those typical jobs. A lot of it is for money so they can survive or pay off certain rent, whatever it is. Let's see. So if money is equal exchange of energy, for me, it's like myself, like let's say, especially with coaching, because for me, coaching, I don't charge very much. It's kind of weird. It's like, man, this is so tricky. When I think about charging, like, how do I say this? Or speaking than I do coaching. Like, in my mind, the value that I'm providing as a speaker is so much more, because let's say I'm speaking to 500 or 1,000 people at a time, so for me, like, whatever I'm charging is totally worth it. When it comes to coaching, I'm helping one individual. Now, it be argued, and I definitely do agree that if you are directly creating a way that shifts someone's mind where they start making lots of money, you could be charging a lot and you could be providing that value. Man, I feel like I'm just diving into living. Like, this is a tough, open conversation that I'm having for myself. Oh, shoot. My goodness. Sorry, people. Anyone who's on, I stream on YouTube and Facebook. Sorry if I'll catch up on your comments. I was on. How come no one was commenting? And I just realized that my comments were hidden. That's why I didn't see them. Yeah. I guess in a way, I'm happy that I'm having this conversation. So I feel I feel uncomfortable talking about this. How do I say this? I'm uncomfortable talking about this conversation, because which is great. Comfortable, that means that we're growing, and at least it means that it's something that we get to work on. So about this whole money conversation and how do I say this? This whole like life coaching. Like, for me, life coaching is not a big part of my business anymore. I used to focus on it, and now it's like side. It's like, if someone like, hey, Richard, can you coach me? Sure, I'll coach you. But I don't actively say like, I want to, hire a coach. Like, I don't do that. It's just if people, I'm certified. Okay. So I guess the conclusion with me and money, how do I say this? I don't know. It's like again, 3 areas of my business, quote unquote business, like profitability areas, if anything. You got YouTube, you got coaching, and you got speaking. Speaking, I think I'm pretty good on that in terms of learning. I'm learning how to value myself, and it's such a great journey for me. Like, it's the only thing that's causing me to lower my price in the past was my, you could say, seeing my own self-worth, or whatever it is. I think that could be applied to coaching and, I don't know, somewhat YouTube content, but honestly, YouTube, I want to keep kind of like a free thing. So it is what it is. It's like, I could charge more, but I don't want to that, or whatever it is, or just let it be. Anyway, that's a tough conversation. That's like one of those conversations that I've been working through for a long time, and I'm still. So, Marshall, thank you for challenging me on there. Marshall's asking, how are you leveraging how are you leveraging your personal brand to achieve this? I imagine kind of financial freedom / success. That being said, let's see. I will say, honestly, if there's anything that I'm benefiting from YouTube content, which again, this is something I do because I enjoy doing it, and that's like the main reason why I do it. When schools hire me to speak, and they, whatever, they look at my YouTube channel like, oh shoot, this guy has whatever 7,000 subscribers, and oh my goodness, he was making daily live videos, like he actually cares, which I do. I think in a way that is a little bit of leverage. But yeah, anyway, that's I guess that's one thing that I'm happy about, that it's a authentic leverage. Tom Sturgis says, hey, Richard, I've only been on Facebook for like 3 to 4 days, and I think you have gone live each. Way to go. Yes, you're still on right now. But for anyone who does not know, I do live streams every single day at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Most people who are watching now know, because you'll find that out pretty soon. That's just kind of a thing that I like to do. All right. Simon, brother, good evening. Stream is choppy at certain points. I don't know if it's just me or on my PC this time. Oh my goodness, that scares me. It's probably because of me. I don't know what happened to my internet. I've tried resetting. I've tried a lot of different things. Should have fast internet. I don't know why it's choppy though, if it is. Reyes says, "Hola, Richard. Today I was told at work they will fire me if I don't show improvements. I don't know. I don't lose my job. I don't know how to get better at work. I just have 2 weeks to make it happen." Let's see. We'll dive into this in catch up on the comments. So Jose says the reason why is because of low performance. Low resolutions might help make it smoother. Streaming and lower resolution. Let's see. Let me see if I could stream in lower resolution. I don't even know how to do that. Can I? 1 second. I'm going to see if I can stream in lower resolution. Nope. 1 second, peoples. The large, yeah, I'm not figuring this out right now. Oh, adjust bandwidth. Medium, low. Oh, medium. Okay, there we go. We're gonna stream on medium. Let's see how that works. All right. Stream improves at all. All right, peoples. Thank you very much. All right, let's continue right now. We're gonna stream on medium quality. All right. That improved the choppiness. I hope it did. Let's talk about this real quick. So again, Jose said that today he was told that he would be fired if he does not make improvements. You don't want to lose your job. I don't know how to get better at work. I just have 2 weeks to make it happen. So Jose, you say low performance. I think the question you got to ask yourself is, ask your boss if you haven't figured out like why performance. Are you self-aware? Do you know that you have low performance? If so, I don't know how to say this. It's like, what's causing you to have low performance? And what's causing it? Whatever. You don't want to lose your job, but is it lack of motivation? Like, what is it? Is it you not trying enough, or pushing yourself hard enough? Not being clear on what the duties of your job is. And I guess I don't know. I want to focus on things that can be improved. So if you want to keep your job, I guess some questions is do you really want to keep your job? If you really want to keep your job, then you're going to do whatever you can. You're going to commit to doing a better job at your job. I think that's what it is. And if you say you want to keep your job for it, then I would argue that you don't really want to keep your job. So just a few things to keep in mind there. What do I have to say here? So yeah, and if you're trying your best, but you're still not performing well at your job, then really my advice for you is to, hey boss, like, look, I'm really, really trying my best here. Can you, I don't know, help me out here? Like, what's you see I could improve on? Ask them. Ask for support. Employees are the best workers, are the ones who constantly ask questions and constantly push themselves to improve. So, and at the end of the day, if you don't want to improve or whatever, if it's not working out, then it's not working out. And in that case, then maybe it's time to move on to the next opportunity. It's maybe just in general for you, but really, if you want the job, you can do it. Let's see. Don Day says you are streaming on Facebook as well. How can I access that? If you want to access All right, hold on real quick. Anyone on Facebook right now? I'm going to switch you over to mobile data. It streams faster, so maybe they'll help things. Okay, so if you want to, if you want to hop on Facebook, it's the same tag. It's facebook.com/RichardQuillLive. It's my personal profile photo, and you can see it. It's the same exact thing. Jose Reyes says, Rico, I'm in the Dominican Republic. Thank you, Richard. Oh, gotcha. Alrighty. So, alrighty. Cool. Yeah, so how do I say this? Yes, I'm streaming on both. I have two internet sources. One is mobile data. The other one is my own personal internet. It was on Wi-Fi. I don't know, Apple, hey, let's make it this feature where your Wi-Fi automatically turns off after you shut it off within 24 hours. It'll turn back on, which I think is completely annoying. I might try to adjust my settings in a little bit. That being said, I just turned back to auto HD. Yep, it's back to HD quality. Yay! All right. Let's by the way, for anyone who's on right now, as most of you know, this is an open Q&A, meaning you could ask any questions about the stream. It doesn't have to be topic related, just whatever is on your mind, you're free to ask. Again, I want to, when there is, when there's a little bit of space in the Q&A, I'll continue on with the topic of the day is, which today is how to earn money doing what you're passionate about. Yes. All righty. Cool. So how to earn more money doing what you're passionate about. So I feel like it might seem a little bit obvious to a lot of people, but question that people should always be, work that they're doing should always be what they're passionate about. People could disagree, and I appreciate if people disagree. Everyone has their own life, and I don't disagree that they're wrong and I'm right. Like I have a friend who wants to be a doctor, and about that, so that doesn't really count. But I have some other friends working a job that they don't necessarily have 100% passion for the money, so they can have a certain lifestyle that they want. Like it's reasonable. It's whatever you want to call it. It's tolerable. It's like they can do it. My take is like, my hope for everyone, everyone in this world that with their lives that they're just happy with it. It's like a genuine happiness. I hope that whatever job you're doing, or if you choose to start your own business, whatever it is, that you're just genuinely happy with it. And I think that's the biggest thing at the end of the day. Genuinely happy, and you're not hurting other people. That's my request. So you're passionate about. So let's talk about that. I guess the main thing is, if you're in a job that you're just not passionate about, or you hate your job, but it's helping you get more money and things like that. I've heard from most people that I know, and the bias in my realm of people is that everyone I know is kind of like an entrepreneur or to do their own thing. What I know true is that money only buys happiness to a certain extent. The more money you have does not mean the more happy you are. And a lot of people, a lot of my Facebook friends especially know this, because I know a lot of entrepreneurs here, and I keep hearing so many stories where people have $1 mansion, they're millionaires, but they're not happy. And like making so much money if you're not going to be happy. And a lot of successful people, some people grow up with this belief that the more I have, the more happy I'll be. And what I hear and what I see, like, that's not really the case. Like life is so much more than just making money. So this is why I talk about the whole topic of why money while doing what you're passionate about. The main point here is really that you care about. Do something that you enjoy doing. You know, do something that you're passionate about. And I think one of the challenges with society, in a way, my opinion, too many people give up on their dreams. Too many people settle for less. Too many people don't believe in themselves. Don't believe that whatever it is that they're worthy, that they're capable of achieving a certain goal. Too many people believe that they're not smart enough. They're not talented enough achieve the goals that they want in their life. Too hard, you know. It's too risky. You know, it's however, too many people create excuses that their parents are holding them back. Do it, and I guess for anyone, I think I don't know. I feel like most, you know, most people, we are all smart people here. It's just sometimes some of us we get influenced by other people, and we take that influence. You know, when you graduate from college, get a stable job. You know, get something that's gonna buy you a house, start a family, all that stuff. But really, I hope that people just follow their hearts more. That's in my life here, or at least on the stream today, is for anyone who's kind of struggling, and for anyone who is, you know, and or you're working at a job that you just are not passionate about. Like I get too many comments like this, like too many comments like, in a job, I got to raise my family, and I hate my job, but I got to support my family. Oh, I don't know how to say this. I'm in school and I don't feel motivated. I feel like I'm just wasting a lot of time playing video games or whatever. I don't know what to do with my life. And really, my thought here, going on too long, I'm in this monotone voice. Really, my thought here is like, we can either complain, or we can do something about it. If you really want to improve your life, if you really want to, you can do it. It's up to you. If I were my old self, sometimes I'd ask the question, well, let's see, Richard, do I really want to do it? Apparently not. You know, of course you don't want to. That's why you're still playing video games. So it's, how do I say this? Like, I believe deep down inside of us that we do want to do it. It's just we're afraid. We're afraid of failure. We're afraid of the challenges. We're afraid of, you know, we want that security. We want that, you know, we want to be comfortable. We want to not of not making it in our life and whatever it is. Yeah. All right, cool. Let's see. All right. Henry says, I just requested to join the Infinite Mastery group. Awesome. I will, when I get to Facebook, I will approve your request. What is the point as to where you can safely switch over from a job? Wait, hold on. As to where you can safely switch over from a job you are less passionate about to a job you are more passionate about that makes less money. Let's see. Okay, let's start with that question. How do you know when you're able to safely switch over from a job you're less passionate about that maybe makes less money? Or my question is, why not do a more passionate job that makes more money? I'm just throwing that out there. It doesn't have to necessarily make less money, but maybe in this your scenario, Don, it does. So how do you know when the right time is? Let's see. So there's a lot of different thoughts going on. Question, really, there isn't, but there's, you know, little strategies or thoughts or techniques that you could use. I've often heard thing to do is to save up 6 months worth of rent, like in case, like let's say you quit your job and of rent, food, utilities, everything, all that stuff to live off of. So you're not completely um I think my better that's like the textbook, what the textbooks say, you know, not textbooks, but like other people. General rule is if you're in a job that you're not passionate about and you want to switch over to another job that's you're not as you are more passionate about but makes less money, this is very contextual. In general, it's like if it's like a job where like you could just switch over, it's like is while you're at your old job, start applying for that other job. Start applying for those jobs that you're passionate about. So I would basically say, you know, it's if it is a real job. Now, if it's like a business, you're in a job that you're not really passionate about and you want to start your own business. The suggestion is while you're still working this job that you are not super passionate about, that's supporting your income, start planning your future job. You know, like it's that simple. It's during the daytime you got your day job, nighttime is your hustle. So that's what I have. Again, I'll share with me personally. I quit my job. I had enough money to survive for 3 years because I'm cheap and also the good fortune of having you know, my parents' house. So worked out. My goal was not to use my savings. My goal was to create a way to make money and not just. And I will say on my journey, this like on my journey of starting my speaking business and whatever life coaching / speaking business, clean. You know, it was not super easy, and it's still, but it's not super easy and clean. It's not like I quit my job and everything was perfect. I started making lots of money. No, it was like dipping into my savings, you know, using all the survival funds that I had, and really weird. It's like it's really a choice. It's like some people, I'm sure some people they quit their jobs and they know what they're doing and they take off the ground running. And a lot of people they struggle. It's I say this. It's like you got to know if you're going to do your own thing, if you're going to start your own business, at the end of the day, you got to take it a little bit seriously. Like you got to have I would say at least have the passion, at least know that you're like, you know what, this is what I want to do. And I know this, you just have to have some sort of internal motivation. You just have to know, like, you know, like for myself, all I knew was I didn't want to go back to working like that anymore, to do my own thing. When I started my job, my business, I was very, very insecure myself in terms of starting a business. Like business wise, like I didn't know how to run a business. You know, I wanted to influence people through coaching and speaking, and that I would eventually figure it out. And honestly, it took longer than I thought it would. It took me 4 years to get to where I am right now, which is it's like part of it is like I didn't get as far as I wanted to than I thought I would. I know that sounds very much of a paradox, but it's like I was hoping in 2 years to, like, you know, get the ball rolling. Time. That's my guess. I can be completely wrong, and someone else can prove me wrong, and someone else could come on here and be like, "No, Richard, you know what? So many excuses. You know, that's why it took you so long, because you didn't dive straight in." And I think there's truth to that. I think as hard as I pushed myself these past 4 years, hesitating. There was also a lot of getting stuck in my head. There's a lot of all these to work through to get to where I am today. Really be honest with myself. You know, there are definitely moments where I would push myself in certain areas, where I was scared to do. I'll give you a very modern day example. Let's talk about and how how much I was charging for coaching, and how I was really scared to charge people a lot because I didn't feel like I was delivering that much value and all this stuff. So conversation, but it's like it's a dance. I'm trying to figure this out. It's like telling the truth. Are their opinions right, or is my opinion right? I don't know. They're just opinions. So we got to choose. We got to choose what our truth is. It's like I want to believe my truth is the truth. How like charging my lower coaching fees is the right thing to do. For better or worse, in my heart, I already have this figure which is lower than coaching peers are charging. And it's a conflict. It's a conflict trying to figure all this stuff out. But we got to trust ourselves anyway, because it's our life. It's my life. So I got to trust what I want to do. Lots of talking. I'm hoping. Okay. Let's see. Sharing little topic. Let's see. When you multiple data and Wi-Fi, they may conflict with each other. Okay. All right. I'm gonna try switching over to the Medium again. Right. Let's do this. So I want to wrap up on this conversation of Don's question, and then I'll comment in just a second. So again, how do we know when we're ready to switch over to that pays less money? It's how do I say this? Part of it is you can plan ahead a little bit. You can save up for 6 months so you could support yourself. Plan ahead a little bit. You get to know two parts to it. Okay, there's two parts. One is the right time to switch over from a job you're less passionate about to a job that you're passionate about. Planning ahead, meaning plan financially, have some safety funds, all that kind of stuff. Is faith. It's in the leap. I don't know what the heck I'm doing, but I'm going to trust that everything's going to work out. And I say trust that everything's going to work out. This is one of those things you got to trust your intuition on a little bit. It's like a stupid way where it's like, let's say you got tons and tons of bills every single month to pay, and you have a job you hate, and you're like, you know what, screw this, I quit. But you don't have a plan. That's stupid. But like, not just blind faith. Like, if you have a reasonable, like, you know what, fired up, and like, I'm so ready to do, to just dive straight into, like, I'm 100% committed, and in your soul that you're 100% committed, not on a surface level, not on like a amped up and ready to go level, like on a soul level. If you know that you're ready to just, I don't know how to do this, but like, I'm really ready to go, not from a fake way. Again, like deep down in your soul, it. Be a sign for you. That might be your heart saying, "Hey, let's do this." So those are two things. Number one, plan ahead financially to support yourself. Number two, leap of faith. For jumping. Sorry. Donde says, let's see, the things that are holding you back: inferiority, comparison, and feeling of failure are feeling of failure. Alrighty. Henry Nielsen says, "Hey Richard, how do I reach out to my old mentor? We haven't spoken in 7 months after I disappeared without explaining to him why. I know he was not happy about it at all. So how do you reach out to your old mentor?" I would say the best way to reach out back to your old mentor is just by being honest. Like, hey, his name is, please forgive me for not communicating for you in the past 7 months, or is my main point here. Please forgive me for not. We stopped keeping in touch. That's completely my fault. I feel bad for it. This is kind of what I was going through, whatever it is. And I am whatever. I'm recommitted to continue being my mentor or whatever it is, and I'm recommitting to really staying on top of it, building up a relationship, and learning from you because I know that I made this mistake in the past. Move forward with it. Just be open, be honest. Like I think that's the best way to back to an old mentor that you want back in your life. All right, so that's all. It's like mentorship to me is like it's like um true mentorship to me, like I'm not a fan of like more professional mentorship. I like this more casual, like you could talk like your friends type of mentorships. Anyway, that doesn't matter. It's if you have a professional mentorship, there's nothing wrong with that either. I think the same principles as friends kind of apply to mentorship. Normal mentorship, of course, you want to be a little bit more careful with that to not things like that. But I'll want to be human. Yesterday was yesterday. Hey, good to see you on. Long time no see. Hi, Richard. I always miss you all. So glad. Oh, I see. I always miss you. So glad I caught you. That's awesome. Good to see you. It's been a while. Rico's hello yesterday. Here we are. Here we are. And I think we're at a place where we are going to start winding down. Ask any more questions that you have or comments. Happy to have those conversations. So I'm going to wrap up real quick. How to earn more money, how to earn more money doing what you're passionate about. To answer this question, really, it's about valuing yourself. I feel like that's like the main thing, that you are valuable. It's not just knowing that you're valuable, but also improving your skills at the same time. I feel like you deserve a certain amount of money. That means that you get to sharpen the saw. You get to improve your product or your service that you're offering to other people. So yeah, let's say, I don't know. I just want to say, like, let's say you're an artist. 2 reasons why you're not charging enough for it. Number one is art isn't, your art isn't at the level that you want. That's number one, or, it could be better. And number two is you're not valuing yourself enough. So, yes, I think that's simple. Yesterday was yesterday. Asked, how do you say older brother in Chinese? Guka. Let's see. I think it's just GE. It's Guka. Oh, that's I'm honored. I appreciate that. Alrighty. With that being said, it is that time of evening. By the way, I just want to say I should ask this a little earlier so people have time to comment. Come up with the topic of the day, a few minutes right before the stream. I'd love to have a stream centered around your questions. So, sorry, I'm laughing at something. I'll tell you in just a second. So, what I would actually like you to do, I see what we got 8 people on right now. For anyone who's on right now or watching later, I would love if you send me a message and you talk about this. I'm more than happy to talk about anything. And this stream is about you. It's not about me. Every day based off my own experience of like, oh, this was interesting. Hey, this is something I learned today. If it's interesting to me, it probably is interesting to someone else. So that's how I come up with my streams. But I love when people ask questions because it gets very to the point of what you care about. And that's the main point of this, to support you on your journey. So, yes. Let's see. He says, you are my Gugu. So, Gugu. Gugu is uncle. Gaga. It's Gege. That's the like the English version of the Chinese characters. There is an official version, which I learned in college Chinese class. Yesterday said, just saying, this is probably the hottest topic when my friends get together and talk. What is that? Is that more money doing what you're passionate about? If so, that is awesome. All right, everyone. At this point, I'm going to hop off and say goodnight. I will be on tomorrow at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, same time as always. I just checked my calendar for the next for the rest of January. I will be on literally I should be on every single day at 8 p.m. There should be no off days. I don't have anything scheduled yet. Pops up if what I have a dinner or whatever scheduled, then I'll let you know ahead of time. But besides that, take care. See you tomorrow. Before I say, where should we send topic questions? Best place to send just whatever, Facebook or email me, richard@richardco.com. Those are the two best places to send me comments. Or YouTube, message me as well. Comments section on YouTube, they kind of get lost sometimes because there's a lot of to filter through. But I usually do see them. Okay. All right. Good night, everyone. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.